Hello, welcome to Dingle All the Way. I'm Simon.
And I'm Lizzie.
And we're still back. It's the back has continued.
We haven't retreated again, so that's hopefully a relief to you.
We've heard no more from our nemesis, and admittedly no more from our dear friend Shabs either. So it's silent on all fronts.
I was really wondering whether our nemesis has been thinking about us as much as we've been thinking about him. Like, do you think we just dipped into his life and then left, or do you think we're on his mind still? Also, if you missed out on this drama, you should listen to our previous episode where we explained that we made a nemesis on the Emmerdale village tour.
And there's a strong possibility that he wasn't aware that this happened. But
yeah, that's more than likely.
I've told a lot of people. I burst into the office on Monday morning being like, guys, I've been a nemesis. You need to hear the story.
This is your biggest achievement to date, actually. Finally, someone hates you.
Long-wanted one. Finally, flashbacks to middle school. I ticked that box a long time ago.
I'm really sorry.
But there's been a lot of drama in the last couple of weeks. I'd say even more than our nemesis situation. Although
maybe
I'm sure that in Emmerdale they don't think about their traumas for as long as I will be thinking about that nemesis. They brush themselves off and move on.
Yeah, I think it is amusing to me how every single episode we start and we're like, wow, there's been drama in the village. Like, that is the whole point of Emmerdale. That's all that ever happens, is that there's drama in the village.
I will say there's been some episodes we started being like, nothing has happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, having said that, you are right. For much of last year, we were just like, why are we still watching this? Nothing's happening.
Whereas I'm loving it at the moment. Admittedly, some of the things that are happening are the same scene on repeat. Like, how many times are we going to see Kevin Lewis vow never to see each other again, and then moments later,
I know,
vow to see each other again?
I think the last couple of weeks we have had a small respite from Cain realising he needs to share his feelings more.
That's true.
And then, forgetting again.
And normally it's only an induced coma that will put an end to those scenes, even briefly.
Something to finally press pause on this eternal cycle.
Maybe he has maybe learned that lesson for good. Maybe he's going to come chatty Cathy now.
Maybe he has amnesia and that's why he always forgets, and they've never really looked into it. Like, they're just like, oh, Cain, he never learns, and it should be like, oh, Cain, do you have a serious memory problem?
He's been knocked out cold many times. So
that's true. He's probably got rugby player injuries,
I assume. But speaking of knocked out, this week, Thursday ended with Billy in a pool of blood, and I thought he was dead. I thought he was gone.
I thought he was dead. I think they wanted us to think he was dead, but I really did think he was dead. And I think as well, if you've lost that much blood, and then presumably he was there basically unconscious overnight, would you not die? I don't have any medical background, but I would have thought he would have died.
No, I did go on a catastrophic bleeding course at work. Well,
of course you did.
Well, it was a first aid one. I actually did sit out the catastrophic bleeding thing because I'm so squeamish. They said, see how far you go, and I lasted maybe 8 seconds. I was like, okay. I'm done. But they did mention something about how there's loads of blood from the head, even for not that bad wounds.
Really?
So
is that what you gleaned in the 8 seconds?
This is what they let it. So, this was the theory bit before. The 8 seconds was when they got out a bag of fake blood and was like, we're just going to start spurting this all over the place. And it's like, not for me, thank you.
Not today.
If I start catastrophically bleeding, I'll just let nature take its course, I think. So.
It would be a relief in a way.
Oh my gosh, it'd be such a blessing. But but for poor Bill, he's knocked out cold in a warehouse. And thankfully, being a soap, we've had any number of people say that they wish him ill over the past 24 hours. Lined up some corporates.
Something that I found most intriguing about the whole thing is that somebody rang Marlon to let him know. And then Marlon went to the hospital. And I thought, Billy really has nobody in the village, does he? Because for some reason they're calling Marlon. And I don't even know if Marlon and Billy have ever set eyes on each other before.
So before your time, and in the period I wasn't watching, I believe that Marlon was in a relationship, possibly marriage, with Billy's mum. So potentially a legacy of that? Maybe.
But in the entire time we've been watching, I don't think I've seen them interact. To the point where we've been like, Billy's got nobody left in the village, and what if they axe him because he's just floating around?
Yeah, maybe they should remember stepdad Marlon. Maybe that's what they're doing. But It did amuse me the number of people who were like, he doesn't have an enemy in the world, not a single soul would want to hurt him. And it's like, if I had recently been involved in a bare knuckle fighting gang who was like blackmailing me, I might be like, oh, maybe it's that notorious gang who he was involved with not that long ago.
Yeah, maybe it was that illegal fighting ring that he was involved in.
But they're like, oh, that was more than a calendar year ago, so it can't possibly be related. So.
And even if you didn't know about any of the like that criminal stuff or the stuff at the distribution centre, what's it called? Caleb Milligan International. You would still know that there's been quite a lot of drama in his personal life with like the Dawn, Joe, Gabby situation. Like, I don't think anybody would be like, nothing dramatic's ever happened in Billy's life. Like, where has this come
from? Yeah, I mean, something I'm confused with in the whole Dawn Joe of it all is, I don't know if this was whilst you were on your break or not. I think it was before that. Dawn was staying with Joe as an elaborate ruse to like take all his money or something.
Oh yeah.
But is that still true? Because all the scenes seem to suggest that she's back in love with him and it's as though none of that ever happened.
I think she did give up on the ruse. But you're right. She's really thrown herself right back into getting married to Joe, in a way.
Do you think maybe it was all a ruse leading up to her exit and they decided not to axe her in the end and she's like...
I think that's exactly what's happened. Yeah, I think that they've axed the axe, in a way.
It's an acception, if you will.
Wow, okay.
Write that down.
Exception to the rule.
Hello.
Yeah, I think that they've just given up on that plot line.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's very convoluted. If they get to the wedding day and no one can quite remember who's blackmailing who and who's like pulling the wool over whose eyes, it's just get married, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, surely they're not going to get married.
No, almost certainly not. But we suspect they'll have a wedding day. So.
We do, yeah. I think there was some really good acting this week. I thought Dawn and Billy's scenes where they were like, ooh, chemistry. I just found them so believable. And then also when Caleb was telling Joe about like the kiss and stuff, I was like, wow, like these two characters work really well together on screen, and yeah, just felt very genuine.
Yeah, although I do find like Caleb keeping that secret for like 8 seconds he was really not bros having bros backs, but
yeah. And then the weird thing was as well when he was saying to, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was to Kerry, Caleb was like, oh, I'm gonna get Joe, like prison is too good for him, like we need to like avenge Billy. And I was like, you seem to be forgetting that you massively threw Billy under the bus yesterday by telling Joe about the kiss in the first place. Like,
it's certainly your fault.
Yeah, it's like entirely your fault that this whole thing happened, and now you're just like, I have to get revenge on Joe.
And then he's like, well, I've told Joe, so I might as well tell the entire pub about this kiss as well. So he's really just out here spreading that message as far and wide as he can.
I mean, we know that there's no such thing as confidentiality, because I mean, what started off as like Dawn kind of checking in with Billy, like, hey, is Gabby okay, ended up with her being like, she's not on contraception, and you're just like, that's so not okay.
I was so shocked by her doing that.
Yeah, same. So I just think everybody just loves to breach common sense confidentiality in Emmerdale.
And no one's got each other's backs. Like, even if you're like, yeah, I did enjoy how often Dawn kept saying, oh, I love Gabby, in between eviscerating her.
I love her, but I think she's toxic and everything she's doing is awful.
Yeah, but also I wish nothing but the worst for her. And we've all done it. You sort of badmouth someone and feel bad, so you'd be like, oh, but they've got a heart of gold at the end.
Like, look, I love her, but she's problematic.
Yeah, she's not coping. Yeah, I mean, Billy and Gabby really were 0 to 100 and then back to 0 pretty quickly. It was quite dizzying. Gabby at one point seemed to be talking about marriage.
Yeah, and I did find it quite intriguing how Gabby was talking to Vinny about it in the hide. Of like, well, Vinny started talking to Gabby about stuff with Lewis and being like, oh, I told him I loved him and it's so embarrassing. It's like, were you not engaged sort of a few months ago? And then it was really awkward. Yeah. And now you're talking to him about that. And then and then obviously then Billy walked into her place of work and broke up with her and walked out again. And then she just went straight back to Vinny like, he just broke up with me. And you're like, I don't think that you guys would be debriefing this together, if I'm honest.
Then he also was not at all sympathetic at that point. He was just like, oh, I'm sad, I guess. Now back to me.
He didn't seem to care, did he?
I think Gabby probably was just so relieved to find a man who was straight that she was just like, fine, I'll lock this one down.
Yeah, and I get it, but it's like, you can't always pin them down.
Turns out sometimes there needs to be more than that to make a relationship work. But I mean, I obviously don't care whether Gabby and Billy get back together, but I would like eventually Billy and Dawn to be back together.
Me too. I think that they're endgame.
Yeah. And is anyone going to tell like Billy's mum or his brother or anyone else he's like unconscious in a hospital bed?
True. Like Dawn is his only next of kin, and you think you barely seem to look at each other unless you're nearly kissing.
Yeah.
Like, but he does presumably have other people in his life.
Pop down Kammy as your next of kin and call it a day. So she's responsible. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's had to deal with a lot in a few years. She's
had to pass on a lot of news to her siblings.
Yeah, I assume at some point she'll be confiding in them that their dad's unconscious. But, yeah. The kids. We hear so much of them. We're like, the kids. For the kids. Here's my next of kin for the kids. Caleb's advice to Billy was curious. At one point he said, better to regret something you do than something you don't. I was like, is that true?
I think that's almost definitely not true.
Like, what about like killing someone, for example? And I do have a personal mantra, like it's better to buy a book and then decide you don't want it later than to leave the book and regret that you didn't buy it. So on a small scale, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. But I wouldn't use it as whole life advice. Yeah,
I guess you buying a book is like less consequential than almost anything that happens in the village.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And so
like in quite a lovely way, but like anything that anybody in Emmerdale would regret would like at the very least it would be like punching someone.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Caleb should regret telling Joe about the kiss more than he would regret not telling Joe about the kiss, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe he's taking his own advice and it's ended horribly.
Yeah, I think he's almost definitely taking his own advice at every step of the way. And where's Ruby in all this? Because I feel like she would have some big opinions and she would have waded in and being like, Caleb, what the heck are you doing?
That's true. I mean, on one hand, she loves messy gossip. On the other hand, she's not an idiot. So where would she land? I don't know.
A happy medium, I guess.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if she doesn't know who Billy is, though. I think she'd just be like, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's probably true, especially because Billy has not really been up to much for a while.
No, he's not been top of mind for anyone. So.
Poor sweet Billy.
Poor sweet Billy. And Ruby obviously is up to her neck in the wine business, so that takes up most of her time.
She's swimming in the stuff.
Dear sweet Ruby. I enjoy Dawn doing some stress cleaning in a house that is cleaned by Lydia every single day. But it's the only way that soaps know how to make women seem stressed for some reason. It's just
don't let them wear mascara and make them clean.
Exactly. And men tend to do boxing. So those are the two options.
Cleaning and boxing. It seems healthy.
Yeah, which would I rather do? I'm not a big fan of either. But I guess cleaning at least gets something done in the house.
Yeah, it's productive. Some of my friends went wrestling recently and I thought that sounded awful, but
yeah, I used to
they wanted to give it a go.
Best in the class at wrestling at middle school. And this was only because I was also the largest in the class. So we really sort of barrel into someone. That was all you're doing when you're like 11 or 12. So,
wow, I truly wish I could see footage of that in some way. Or
I mean, thankfully no one was videoing a whole bunch of 11-year-olds in PE. So
yeah, I think that is for the best. But the idea of you wrestling is just quite endearing to me. So
yeah, well, it's unlikely to happen again. Not with my bones.
Not with my disposition.
Not with my flimsiness. It's not for me. No, but I hope your friends enjoyed it.
I don't know if they did. I don't know if I'll go back. I think they thought that it would be a lot more sort of like rough and tumble and a bit of fun, but then it actually was just quite like almost cultish and like, you're not allowed to touch that bit of the room because you've only just got here and like you didn't say this chant when the instructor said this chant and there was like clapping and stuff.
What? Okay, this is just a cult, surely.
I think it was a cult.
Wow. I mean, if they just want to like do rough and tumble wrestling, just do it in the garden.
Well, that's how it started. So they were doing rough and tumble wrestling when we went on a camping trip, and they were like, maybe we should find out how to actually do this properly. And so they went to like a random wrestling club in like inner Leeds, and all hell broke loose, it would seem.
Yeah, well, it does sound entirely their own making, if I can be honest.
So yeah, they're not allowed to leave.
Oh gosh, I guess it's the last you'll see of them. But
yeah, I guess it's over.
What else? I think something I found quite upsetting when Gabby was with Billy in his house. We should talk about that in a second. But she was talking about her healthy eating plan, and then she said her slogan was "What goes in is what comes out." And then Billy was like, "Oh, you should put that on merch." And she was like, "Yeah, I should." And I think it was written as like joking banter, and it was sort of played seriously. And so he did really like the slogan, and she should put it on merch. It's like, what goes out, okay, that's what comes out is maybe for Thames water or something, but I don't know if it's what I want when I'm buying charcuterie.
Yeah, I don't think I picked up on that, but you're right. I think maybe there was like a tonal shift that wasn't quite intended. Because it didn't really work. And you think like, you don't want that on merch. That's quite sort of sewage based in a way.
Yeah, and I like, as someone who has it very recently bought tacky merch, there's still limits. I was telling Colin about my wolf pack of cards, and I'd not really thought about that wordplay, that it's a wolf pack of cards, but isn't that great?
So true.
I keep saying wolf. Wolf.
I know, it did take me a while to realize quite what you were talking about.
Wolf pack. Wolf pack something else. It's like a pack of wolves, I guess. I do have a t-shirt that says wolf pack on it, but it's spelled wolf like Virginia Woolf, and there's a picture of Virginia Woolf. So
that's sweet. Yeah, that's very you.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Billy's house. We saw inside.
And it I can't massively remember it, other than I think it was kind of yellowish tones.
Yeah, I think we were in like some sort of big open plan kitchen, and we saw the outside of this house, and it is like the smallest one room wide little cottage in the world. And yet, is it like basically next door to the boys' house? Yeah, I think it's between them and maybe Charity around the corner. But yeah, no, it was next door to the boys' house.
Yeah, so they are very small cottages, aren't they? But inside, both of them look kind of enormous. Do you remember when they had that big party at the boys' house?
Yes.
It's like, you would not fit 3 people in that.
No, Mirrors were doing some heavy lifting, but even so, it's, yeah. But I think Billy lives on his own, or possibly the kids are there half the time. I don't know. But lovely big kitchen he's got, apparently.
Yeah, and I mean, good for him, although it does seem like he's only really eating like raw vegetables in it. Although I guess now that Gabby is out of the picture, he can eat whatever he wants.
That's true. And he said he went and paid a lot of money for those raw vegetables. So I was like, babe, just cut out some vegetables. Like, you don't need to.
Well, they had to be organic for her.
Apparently so. But then she was very upset with the salad dressing. So, I mean, hopefully it's going to do an eating disorder storyline well. But I think they're more likely to do it well than, e.g., the equivalent storyline in Neighbours, where like a good talking to from Susan seemed to cure everything. But
yeah, I don't know,
because they did do quite a long running one with Priya a while ago, who was Jay's sister.
Oh yeah,
and that was really. And then she relapsed a few years later, which, you know, I mean, it's a very similar storyline, but is more realistic. So they did that really well. But
okay, well, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't necessarily trust Emmerdale to do serious issues well, because they always start off.
It's true.
Like, on a good footing, and then before you know it, it's like spiraled out of control, and it's actually ended up somehow involving like a drugs gang, and you're like, oh, okay, like that didn't happen to most people who struggle with anorexia, but sure.
That's so true. Like, a workplace bullying storyline somehow became about rape and murder. It's like we're never, for example.
Yeah, you're like, it suddenly became less relatable, and there were less like action points for if you're struggling with this.
Yeah, and obviously we do recognise that sexual assault is a horribly common thing, but not often in relation to workplace bullying. And so we do worry, of course, that Jacob's particular issue will never again be mentioned. But
yeah, I think it's just been buried in the sands of time.
Luckily, we've got that HR lady who wouldn't for a moment consider keeping any sort of thing confidential.
Yeah, she loves to share problems with absolutely anybody who'll listen. But yeah, they seem to have put the whole Caitlin Todd thing on the back burner for a little bit, and I was like impressed. Like, I thought Mac was doing a good job of like being like, I'm not gonna let Todd get away with this. But then when he like was speaking to Vanessa about it, and he just started off with the line, "Just promise me you're not going to tell Charity because she's got enough going on as it is." And you think, have you learnt nothing about telling the truth and about honesty and about like not concealing things? That's what this whole thing has been.
Of course he's like, I mean, if you got rid of that, what would a soap be?
I know, but it's tiring, isn't it? It's very tiring.
So we did have that woman, I can't remember her name, who previously made the complaint, and we had some moving scenes with her. Although
now I want to say Helen.
Ooh, could well be Helen, yeah. She had the sort of haircut that I'd imagine nurses in the war to have had, which is...
and she's supposed to be a nurse. And there is a war going on, just not in our country.
Oh my gosh, it all adds up. The HR lady seems to think that she's got around the law by just sort of printing her details and then like nodding to it. And that's apparently, that's within the remit of non-gross misconduct. And I didn't love what Charity did in these scenes where she was basically like, you have to come forward. And she's like, no, she's traumatized, she doesn't want to. It's great for you if she did, but it's up to her. It might be great for her if she did, but it's still up for her.
She did a lot of like, this is everything to me, like, you have to do it, but then also towards the end being like, only what you're comfortable with, and that's so fine. And you're like, you do appear to be kind of manipulative.
Yeah.
And then being like, no, don't worry, you don't have to. And you're like, well, which one is it?
I know. But yeah, when they went to the HR lady to ask for notes, I mean, that HR lady, she's not made a note in her life. She was openly bored by Jacob's accusations, and she's like, I don't know. I don't do my job. I'm just here.
I don't know who you think I am.
I am the sole member of this large hospital's HR team, and that involves me just looking stern and walking around.
Yeah, that appears to be the only thing so do.
Hopefully someone's doing payroll, but might not be her. But yeah, no, they're pretty keen for them to break the law. And apparently Charity's got time to go and talk or Jacob's got time to like have a debrief about this in the middle of the working day as a doctor. But yeah.
I know, honestly, everybody who does anything for a living never actually does it. And we talk about this all the time, but like, it is crazy when you think that Moira and Cain are apparently running a farm and a car garage.
Although the farm is just their back garden, as far as I can tell. So
yeah, well, it's not meant to. Oh yeah, that's true, because they have kind of given it to Robert and Aaron, or been coerced into that or something.
But... Oh yeah, no, they've got their own separate rival farm now that doesn't seem to have any actual farmland or animals.
Have they got any animals there?
Well, they stole all those cows, but did they give them back? I don't know.
I really lost track of all of that. I'd love just like a memo from ITV that's like, this is where everyone's up to, this is where everybody lives, this is what they've got,
who lives with whom, who's
related to
whom, who's blackmailing whom. Just like give us up to date, please, because we're misinformed by ourselves.
I literally can't keep up, and there are probably people who are listening to this being like, oh great, there's another episode of Dingle All the Way, I'll work out what's going on in Emmerdale.
May not.
We're like, what? Who is the farmer?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did rent a field off someone and maybe put some cows in it, but I'm not sure that really makes them farmers. But Moira did say the other day, like, I've got to go work on the farm. So presumably, unless she is still doing part-time work at the Rob Run farm.
Yeah, I just have no idea.
Something, speaking of Jacob and Vanessa, that I did love that happened was that Vanessa did apologise to Jacob for not believing him.
I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, she didn't quite say, I apologise for saying your mum would be ashamed of you, which is what I was hoping for.
Yeah, we needed that, but it didn't come.
Yeah. And then, but I was thinking from Jacob's perspective, he won't know why Vanessa's changed her mind, because he doesn't know all the stuff with Charity. So he's just like, Vanessa just decided one day. I mean, he knows, I guess, that Vanessa and Caitlin have broken up, but...
Yeah, I guess he's probably just thinking, oh, she had a random change of heart. Like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. It doesn't make much sense from his perspective, but he just sort of took it on the chin, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he didn't seem particularly moved by it. He's like, yeah, thanks, great.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye. Maybe he's finding someone else to workplace bully in return or something. I don't know, maybe that would be the next hurt people. So
hurt people do hurt people, that is so true.
Yeah. Other big news of the past couple of weeks is, I guess, more Kev stuff.
So much Kev stuff. It's been very Kev heavy. Kevy. Yeah, and obviously we all hate Chris, right?
I think Steve is his name, but yeah.
Okay. That guy,
Yeah.
whoever he is.
Oh, I can't stand him. I just wish he went there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, well done, Claudette, but also, bless you, you didn't need to do that.
No, bless her with her savings.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that she did it. I'm warming to Claudette now that she's not just turning up to yell at people occasionally.
Yeah, I think Claudette's lovely, and I think the fact that she was willing to pay someone off to leave the village because he was going to, corrupt Kev was very sweet. Although at one point, I think it was when she was telling Charles what she'd done and bribing him to leave, she said Kevin's soul was at stake. I was like, what is your doctrine of salvation if you think that someone coming back to the village and leading him back into a life of crime means his soul was at stake? Like, that's different, but sure.
Yeah, the only thing I could think was she's like, he's a work in progress, and if he stays here without distractions, maybe he'll find the Lord. But I didn't know if that was...
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Saying.
Also, a fun little thing that happened on my note about Emmerdale is that my phone auto-corrected it, and it just says, Kevin's soup was at stake. So...
Also important.
Also really important that his soup was at stake, and we need to hold on to that. Yeah, I thought it was quite moving when they had a big hug, and he was like, I'm never going to let you down again. But also... I was thinking, I don't really think that Kev should have to pay that money back because he didn't know that she was doing that and didn't ask for that. And you're like,
yeah,
I don't think you're indebted to her because she decided to pay some guy off.
And then Charles was like, pay more rent. And I know they don't actually live in a vicarage because there isn't one, but you're not allowed to make money from renting a vicarage if you're the vicar there. And again, I know they don't have a vicarage, but if they do, they have to be a minimum of 4-bedroom detached wherever you are in the country. So they can move out of that tiny cottage into a 4-bedroom detached house if they were willing to acknowledge that they needed a vicarage.
There are just so many things that you should be the advisor to Emmerdale about.
I know I'll never stop having on. No, you don't have to live in the vicarage. He could be a non-stipendiary minister. We don't know. Maybe he's just doing it for the love of the chase.
Love of the game.
The love of the game. This makes more sense.
The love of the game and the love of the chase.
There we
Souls,
go.
I guess.
And it is possible, I suppose, that because you'd never get a church in rural ministry where you just have one vicar for one church. So maybe there's a vicar who's got like 10 churches, and he or she is just like, fine, Charles can look after that one as long as he doesn't expect to be paid or get a house. And he's just like, cool, I'll live in this house for duty, and I'll do it.
Yeah, it is all quite baffling. Is it definitely an Anglican church?
Oh, it must be, yeah, because they do weddings and stuff there.
Yeah, true.
And he was going to go work there, apparently. So maybe he's got an office in the church, or maybe he just like sits in the church and was like, what do vicars do? No one's ever told me. So.
No one's ever really let me know. I think he doesn't have an office in the church because he was trying to write his sermon, but Claudette was singing in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, and I thought it was horrible of him to like clamp down and have singing worship songs.
Yeah, I know, same. Like, just go and work somewhere else, let her sing her songs.
Yeah, although I did appreciate that he was writing the sermon by longhand. So
yeah, that is different.
And lovely for him.
Yeah. I thought it was quite an unusual choice to ask Kev, who does not believe in God, to say grace at the beginning of their chippy tea, and obviously very sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't usually ask someone to pray who doesn't pray.
No, and maybe Claudette thinks he does believe in God. She's just like blind.
Yeah, maybe. And I thought it was quite sweet how he ended the prayer by saying nice one instead of amen.
Yeah, that was good.
It did remind me, though, of a painfully embarrassing memory that I have of when I was probably 11 or 12 and I left an answer phone message on one of my friends' landlines from school who I was trying to get hold of, and I talked for a while and explained why I was calling, and then instead of saying goodbye I said amen at the end, and then I just didn't really know what to do, so just hung up, and then was what? I was like, I guess as a child speaking into an answer phone with no response kind of feels similar to when you pray out loud.
I mean, that's a dark thing to say, but wow. I mean, why not? Maybe we should bring it back. Maybe that's how we should end this podcast for finally the sign off.
Amen.
Amen. I did enjoy Kev singing the Spice Girls in some scene. I forget which one it was, but that was nice. Yeah. Spice action. I can't remember which song was it. Don't remember.
I don't know if I remember that at all.
feel like there was maybe a little bit of dancing. Was it at the party?
Did I miss an episode? What party?
Did you see Lewis's birthday party?
I heard them talking about that, but I don't remember seeing it. So I think I might have accidentally skipped an episode.
It might have been on Sunday or something. There was an extra episode at some point. Yeah, he had a really sad little party where the only people invited were long-lost relatives, Ross and Kev, his actual friend Vinny, boyfriend rather, and then Nicola was there, Claudette and Charles for some reason were there. And it's like, do you not have any friends? / why have you not invited your parents? Like you've just got this...
that's quite different.
My only hope is that his parents are actually putting on a proper party for him where his friends are going to be there, and it's like this is sort of just to make Vinny feel better, be like, or Kev or someone. Yeah. And then Kev hit Ross. Well, no, Kev tried to hit Ross, but accidentally hit Lewis.
I did hear about that. That also made me think, I think I've missed an episode, but by this point I was like, I just need to catch up before we record our podcast. I was like, I think I've worked out what's happened here, and that's enough.
He made a cake that was meant to look like one of Lewis's jumpers, but that fell on the floor, so that was sad.
That's sad.
And he did a lot of I wasn't trying to hit Lewis, I would never hit my boy, but he was like, but I get it, but you were trying to hit Ross, so it's like you're still trying to hit someone at a party, so it's doesn't really
regardless of the identity, that is quite a difficult one, isn't it?
And that's when Claudette was all very huffy and fell out with him there. And then I don't know if it's the same episode where he went to try and talk to Vinny, and Vinny started attacking him. But then
I saw that.
You saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Vin. Something I did amuse me because it shows that the getting lines slightly wrong does make them not quite make sense. So one scene, Mandy said to Vinny, "How are you?" And Vinny said, "It depends what you mean by all right." It's like, just retake it. Come on.
You didn't need to use that take, surely. Surely there was something better than that.
Something, or at least move in the moment. Be like, it depends what you mean by "how are you?" or something. I don't know. Something that isn't just gibberish.
That's so funny. Yeah. Vinny is quite annoying, isn't he? But thankfully he was too spineless to stick to his lie for very long, because he did eventually confess to the fact that it was him that attacked the Kev and not the other way around.
Yeah, and I wasn't watching Another You for his whole storyline about his dad being violent towards him, or I guess probably a storyline about him telling these Mandy and people that had happened in the past. But I can see he would be fraught, but I don't know, he just goes about everything in the most annoying possible way, doesn't he?
Yeah, he truly does. But I think my favourite moment in this whole saga was when Lewis and Kev were having a conversation in the playground, and he spins the roundabout around to give him a hug. Or was it Vinny? It was one of them.
I can't remember. But yeah, good for them. Good to use your surroundings.
Come here, and then just spins the roundabout around and hugs him.
I think it was Vinny. Yeah, because they were having talking about how his dad had also been violent towards him.
Oh, yeah.
I do wish they'd stop putting Kev in that sort of mouldy beige coloured polo shirt.
Yeah, Kev has quite unusual costume choices, doesn't he? And he could look like a really normal person, but he just unfortunately doesn't.
No. Which is a shame. But yeah, I mean, hopefully at some point he mellows and just doesn't have the same storyline over and over again. But I mean, on the other hand, it's good to have someone who's a bit of a live wire, but at least hopefully he and Lewis can just, be all right with each other and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you think that he has got a big storyline coming up because you think he's going to end up with Nicola.
Well, I do at some point. And we're getting quite a lot in the last couple of episodes about how Nicola and Jimmy just don't love each other anymore as friends.
Yeah, or that they do love each other, but they never appear to touch each other, and things are fizzling out.
Which I'm sure we've seen many scenes of them actually being horny for each other in the past, but sure. It was weird when Marlon introduced Billy being in a coma and Nicola instantly made it about her and Jimmy's sex life. It's okay, cool.
Okay, that doesn't feel like the tonal sort of shift that we needed, but sure.
Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the intel.
It's good to know. It's actually not good to know.
No, I'll update my records accordingly. Oh dear. But we have heard the rumours that Jimmy's going and very sad about it. But I guess they're trying to maybe start by finding a way to break them up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be believable if they break up, because they're such a long-standing couple and they care about each other. They're Nicola and Jimmy. They are together forever in our hearts.
Truly. But also, I would quite enjoy seeing Nicola with Kev. So.
Yeah, I think maybe I would enjoy seeing her like briefly with Kev, but then get back together with Jimmy. But if instead, that will be harder.
Yeah,
not impossible, because Graham,
he should give his tips. Graham has been all over camping this fortnight.
Yeah, and I did find it interesting that in his most recent, like, trying to get Kyle to go camping with him, he was wearing a waistcoat and a shirt, and you're like, and you want to go and do orientation training right now?
At least when he went actual camping, he did put on, like, I don't know what it was, like some sort of ski costume or something.
Finally had a costume change, which was huge for him.
Yeah, the laundry was like, fine, we'll dry clean a suit if we have to. But,
yeah.
I did absolutely agree with Cain when he was like, gave sort of like on the rampage about how dreadful camping is. And he did talk about how you don't have central heating. And I was looking at their cottage, and I don't think you've got central heating in that house either, frankly.
He's definitely not got central heating.
And then Graham alleged that he was coming because someone needed to bring the enthusiasm. Is enthusiasm a word that we would link with Graham?
I don't think so.
Ross had a little impersonation of him at some point this week and did do his monotone, which I very much enjoyed.
I loved that. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah. There's that whole Monty storyline, isn't there, with the dog and this kind of thing, and you just think, oh.
Yeah, such a healthy looking dog, I would say.
Yeah, he looks really on very good form. Like, and so does so does Cain.
That's true. I did see a great tweet the other day, which was somewhat a vet being like, when dogs come in, it's always because they've like swallowed batteries, and when a cat comes in, it's because the owner's like, oh, it just doesn't have the same expression when I'm like singing his tunes or something. And the reply was like, this is true, but also the dog is always fine and the cat is always near death. And it's so I've definitely taken Hargreaves to the vet before and been like, he just seems like off, and they're like, yeah, he's ill.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Whereas dear sweet Monty apparently is ill, but is masking it incredibly well.
And it's totally fine.
And they do think, I mean, why do they take a dog camping when it's got cancer?
Yeah, although if they hadn't, then Cain would have died in a ditch.
Cain apparently fell underneath a tree that has clearly been down for months. That tree was not afraid, like that tree was like rotting.
Yeah, how did he sort of insert himself into that?
I mean, I guess the idea was the tree fell on him, but obviously, that tree clearly not recently been felled, but also, like, that would shatter your leg if a tree fell on it. It wouldn't just be like...
Yeah, Graham wouldn't be sort of like popping it back into its socket.
No. It is interesting how we got such dislocation awareness recently. Like, kept doing it to Ross,
dislocation. But it did lead to a very nice conversation between Cain and Kyle, and I thought that was really nice. Of them sharing some feelings, and then just very quickly Cain mentioning to Moira, like, you have to adopt Kyle, and her being like, okay. And then that was it. And you're like, that could have been like really lovely and moving, but it was just very much like a box ticking exercise for them.
I mean, hopefully it will be when they tell Kyle. But I guess I would take these Cain and Kyle moving moments more seriously if we hadn't seen the almost exact same thing 100 times, and we're going to see it again 100 times. It's like, because I do like when Kyle, I don't know, it's quite moving when Kyle is like, I'm not like you, I'm scared and I'm weak and stuff. And Cain, firstly, he was like, don't be soft, which was like...
Probably the opposite of what he needed to hear at the moment, for sure.
But yeah, it must be interesting if your father is hardened criminal Cain Dingle and you're just like a regular
normal
boy,
person.
albeit someone who has manslaughtered someone, but still.
And set fire to many, many barns.
So many barns. I'm just ready for them not to have that conversation again.
You're ready for them to never speak.
They can speak. I just want Isaac to have more stories. I love Isaac.
I love Isaac. Do you remember when he lost Minty?
Minty. So I did really enjoy the Rona Moira scene about like Moira sort of sharing her feelings. And again, we weren't watching when Marlon had a stroke, but I guess maybe similar path. Although it's funny how everyone just acknowledges that Moira needs sex regularly.
Yeah, that's her main thing.
Yeah. And when Rona was like, "I'm not a goer like you are."
I was like, wow, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did really enjoy that. I think we always say there's not loads of just friendship in Emmerdale, but just seeing two women get on well, having a chat, sharing feelings, that was really refreshing.
Talk about their husband's sex lives and incontinence is lovely stuff.
It's a sweet touch.
And an actual scene between Rona and Cain, real life married couple, which I don't remember seeing before.
Yeah, they often. I've heard that they don't really like to have scenes together. But I don't remember the scene at all. What happened?
It was the same thing, like same scene, I think. But then Cain came back,
fair.
and then stormed up the stairs when she said something about dogs or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think she was there being like, yeah, Monty's not doing great. Weeks left.
Oh yeah, weeks rather than months. I do remember
that.
Yeah. Something I've written down in my notes is just the word Serena, which I think was maybe a note to myself to remember her name is not Selena. I don't appear to have much else to say about her.
No.
That's kind of it. No, I also wrote down that she referred to herself to Ross as, "I'm someone who you know." Like, you did meet like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's so true. I think she must be connected with what's his face, Kim's son. I forget his name.
What? Jamie.
Jamie, yeah, because she did. They talked about him, and she looked all like suspicious and stuff.
I don't remember that. When was that?
When was it? What was she at Home Farm? Why would she have been at Home Farm? Did she pop in for something?
Like robbing them?
Yeah, well, no, when Kim was also there.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like something happened, and then she went away and texted someone, being like, "Couldn't find her," or "There's nothing on the thumb drive," whatever it was.
Oh yeah. Well, it'd be quite interesting if Jamie came back.
It would be fun. Not least because Gabby could marry him again or something.
Were they married before?
I don't know if they're married, but he's the father of her child. So,
yeah,
this is why she lives there.
I get it in a way.
Yeah,
I'm sure I knew that at one point, but I've just sort of like forgotten it all.
And presumably he's gay, just because that's her type.
Obviously, so. That's what seems to sort of repeatedly happen to her, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did think she was so outright rude when she was just like bad-mouthing everyone's food choices. It was like, we get it. You can eat your seeds, etc., but you don't need to be like, ugh, that's disgusting when people do anything else around you.
Yeah, she really went big on the whole, like, you shouldn't be eating pancakes thing, and you're like, wow.
That was it. There was so much like, pancakes are fine once in a while, Gabby.
Yeah.
And also just think it, don't say it.
Yeah, she is quite vocal about all of her opinions, though, so it is in character for her.
That's true. Like, you think she's so different from Bernice, but actually the apple didn't fall that far from the tree, did it?
Yeah, I mean, I never really knew Bernice, but it does seem to be, from my small experience of her, very similar.
Yeah, I miss Bernice. She was a hoot.
I think I've just got strays. What about you?
Yeah, and I don't even know many of those, to be honest.
Yeah, all I've got is Jimmy's still alive. And oh no, I have got a couple of other things. I thought it was sweet when Kev was asleep on the sofa at the boys' house for some reason, because he lives so close to there.
So true.
And then they were like, "Oh, should we wake him up?" And Lewis was like, "Oh no, I don't want him to wake up because then it will start." And like, that's exactly how I feel about Kev, of like, oh, you're just quite draining because he's like always saying something or doing something, and you're like, this is a lot.
True.
And you're like,
it's exhausting.
Yeah, and that is obviously how Lewis feels as well.
It's quite early in a father-son relationship to never want to hear your father speak, isn't it?
Yeah, so true.
I just made a note that Charity is not shy of yelling at Mac. It's like, considering he's been like superhumanly forgiving, basically, she's never not screaming at him for something.
Yeah.
I would say usually things that are not as bad as what she's done, i.e. him thinking about it in the pub.
Yeah, like he's like kind of still processing a lot of stuff, and she's just quite annoyed with him for it, bless her.
Yeah, poor sweet Mac. But I mean, I'm glad they're together, and I'm glad the Mac and Ross are healing their wounds as well. Like,
yeah, it's nice that everyone's just working through their issues rather than running away from them for once.
Yeah, but Charity does need to calm down slightly. Maybe she could look at that big SEA on the wall and feel the sort of beautiful piece of laughing waves. But I don't know, something just coming up with thoughts.
Yeah, something nautical to take the edge off.
Nautical but nice.
Exactly.
What's your next stray?
My only other stray is that I think I have said this before, I really enjoy that the water cooler in the hospital says Naivean, like instead of Evian, because Evian is naive spelled backwards.
It is, and I think again this might have been while you were on a little bit of a break. Ross had a cologne called La Bloke.
That's lovely, yeah.
Very strong. I was actually listening to the Rest of Entertainment podcast yesterday, which was talking about the names they come up with for fake things. They were actually talking about Coronation Street, but soaps in general or TV things in general, and how you have to get that sort of place where it's not too close to the real thing that it feels unsettling, but also is believable. Because we talked before about their like fake name serials, and that was a good example. Whereas I think Le Bloke is possibly Le Bloke. I don't know. Either way, I'm not sure that's believable as a scent.
No, not massively, but it is funny. Yeah, because you don't want to be doing this sort of like Aldi version of something where you could just end up in a court case, but you do need to actually make it believable.
Yeah. Joe colour coordinates his sock drawer and has an intense skincare regime.
I know. I know he's evil, but I find him quite endearing, and like that kind of thing is just quite cute. And then when he found out about the kiss and he was just like so crestfallen and sad, and you're like, oh, you're evil, but you are just a little boy really who's been let down again.
Yeah, I think he'd have been so much... I think I just enjoy the character a lot more if you were just like a sweet man, like an evil man who's also sometimes sweet.
Yeah, same. It should lean into the sweetness. We'd all love him.
But it does make me wonder what sort of socks he's wearing, because I had him down as just like a plain black guy, but maybe if he's colour coordinating, he must have a range of colours.
Yeah, I thought he would just be in like a white sports sock at all times, unless he was like looking smart. Well, he's always looking smart, actually, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's one of those people who does like for pattern socks and pattern pocket squares or something, and that's his thing.
No, surely not.
Someone at work here who always dresses quite conservatively, except quite exotically coloured socks, and I applaud it. Often that's the only way that men know how to express themselves.
Through sock.
Through sock. What am I wearing today? Just wearing plain red socks today. So there you go.
And do you feel like that's expressing anything for yourself, or?
I think I wear enough patterns the rest of my body.
Yeah, you're wearing quite a pattern shirt right now.
Yeah, it is intense.
It's a lot, but I like it.
Thank you. It's fun, isn't it? My final stray is our dear friend Kammy, because I love this line. He talked about doing 500 push-ups, and he says, "I'm not going to apologise for being buff," which I loved.
I don't know if that was in the episode they accidentally missed.
Maybe it was, because you would definitely remember that line.
Yeah,
surely.
I think I would have remembered that. That's hilarious. I might need to go back and find the episode that he was in, because I don't really remember him much in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he didn't have much to do in that episode, and I can't remember why they were talking about his push-ups and his buffness, but it was great. So.
That's funny. I like that. Oh, yeah. Kammy.
Yeah, don't apologise for being buff, Kammy.
And you either, okay?
Yeah, no, I never have apologised for being buff, nor have I had cause to. Okay, our random name for who we're going to talk about is Mary. We
haven't had much Mary content recently.
No, I like Mary, and you may remember from our prediction episode, that my prediction was that she would get an adult eating disorder storyline, but they obviously gave an eating disorder storyline to Gabby instead.
And well, I mean, she is an adult, so I guess that's in some ways your prediction was true.
I think I always said older person. I don't want to. And Gabby's maybe older than the average age for an eating disorder, but
maybe
not as like hard hitting. Look, Emily, if you'd listened to me, you could do a really interesting storyline that Help the Aged would be all over sponsoring.
And it wouldn't have gotten out of hand.
No, like she wouldn't get into a drug gang or
exactly. Yeah, I'd forgotten about our prediction episode. What else did we predict?
I mean, I did predict that Jimmy would have psychosomatic paralysis.
And maybe that's how he dies. Psychosomatically.
Psychosomatic death. Those are the only two. I don't remember any of your predictions, I'm afraid, and I don't remember any of the rest of mine. So we'll have to replay that episode at the end of the year and see how right we were.
Yeah, maybe we should go back and do a re-listen.
Little bonus episode or something and be like, here's what we got right. Nothing. Here's what we got wrong. Everything.
Everything.
I think I've learned my lesson for next year that whilst it is funny to go hyper specific, it might be more worthwhile going generic.
Yeah, I think my predictions for 2027 will be like, somebody in the village might die this year.
We do like those like digital spy spoilers where it's like tension in the village erupts or something.
Yeah. There's high drama.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, Mary, I liked Mary. She was on the peripheries of the never-ending drug storyline, but I thought the scenes that where Rona asked her to leave without being able to tell her why, I thought Mary was brilliant in those scenes. So when she gets something to do, she's really good.
Yeah. She's really excellent. I'd like to see more of Mary.
Yeah, the only story I can think of her having recently is the whole like she was with Susie before Susie's death.
Yeah, Secret Susie.
That was all quite weird.
And then she punched that guy for April.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And that felt quite good.
That was fun. But yeah, she hadn't had an actual proper story since we started watching. So
she was on the darts team.
Oh yes, that seems to have splintered.
But you're right, not a proper story.
No. Yeah. Give Mary something to do, but we like her. She's good.
Any farming content in the last couple of weeks?
Has there been?
I don't remember it, but maybe. I don't even remember that anybody had a farm, so my memory is not too trusted.
Nothing's coming to mind, so maybe there hasn't been any farming content. Yeah.
I think Robert and Aaron have certainly talked about farming.
I don't think Aaron cares about what's going on that farm. It doesn't ever cross his mind.
Does Aaron know that they live on a farm?
He also can't be giving his attention 24/7 to that scrapyard, so what is he doing with this time? We don't know.
I really don't know. Why does everybody have multiple jobs but not do any of them is my big question.
That's a good question. Yeah, so no farming, but watch this space.
Yeah, fingers crossed for a bit more in the next couple of weeks. Also, I thought it was interesting that in a couple of the scenes this week, there was like rain on the windows. But it hasn't rained for ages.
Yeah, I guess 6 weeks ago it must have been raining. It doesn't feel like it's ever rained or will ever rain again.
I guess the wonder of television is that they can do things like spray water onto windows and make it look like rain.
That is a wonder indeed. Movie magic.
It's crazy out there.
Do get in touch? dinglealltheway.pod@gmail.com. Reviews, rate us, comment on Spotify, all that jam. We love it.
Yeah, we've had a few new followers on the Instagram, which is also dinglealltheway.pod. Maybe I'll post something on there. Who's to say?
Who's to say? We must have more village content we've not posted yet.
Yeah, literally so much more. You've
Cool.
just got to drip feed it in.
Drip.
Lovely, well. Amen.
Amen.